Hey, what's up YouTube? It's your boy the Mad Wolf and welcome back to the Spider-Man PS4 playthrough. We are now at part 7, and while I had some free time, I did hunting around for all the backpacks. I did end up getting all the backpacks, and what's really cool is that each backpack has really awesome items from this Spider-Man's past. So I'm gonna see if I can take a look at that real quick. Let's see here under collections, and then if we go to backpacks, and there's a bunch of really awesome Easter eggs. So we have like the classic web shooter.
Shooters managed to improve the storage capacity a lot since then, but the basic design's still the same.
And what's really great is that you get some backstory from Peter for each of these, and there are some really awesome things in here. For example, this good luck card.
Aw, the good luck card from when I left the Daily Bugle to go into research. Some really great people there. And Jameson.
Now, if you look at the signatures, the second from the top, it says great working with you, and that one is from Eddie Brock. So we know Eddie Brock exists in this universe, so that's pretty exciting. And then what else do we have? This is really cool. We get a stealth fragment.
One of these days I'll work out a fabric that warps sound and light waves. A stealth suit would really come in handy.
And that's a reference to the big time suit in the comics, so that's really cool. What else do we get? We have Shocker suit. There's something else that's really awesome. Oh, here's another Easter egg.
Oh yeah, that blind guy gave me his card in case Spider-Man ever needs a lawyer. Wait, hold on. If he's blind, how did he know I was Spider-Man?
And for those of you who are familiar with the Netflix show, the Nelson and Murdoch attorneys at law, Murdoch is Daredevil. That's really cool to see here. And there's a couple of other Easter eggs. For example, this is a really cool callback to Spider-Man 2.
I thought web swinging would let me get pizzas delivered fast. And it did. Fast and smashed.
So I feel like this is a reference to Spider-Man 2, how you got to do pizza deliveries. So this is really cool to see in the game. And some other things that I didn't know they would put into the game. Let's see here. Here's another reference to the Spider-Man 2 video game.
All I did was save this kid's balloon from floating away, and he made me this. It's the little things that make it all worth it.
So that's really cool. Here's another reference.
People know my parents died in a plane crash, but I still can't tell anyone they were government agents. Wish I knew more about them. I wish anyone did.
Okay, so that's not a reference to Spider-Man 2, but what's really cool is that in the comics, it was revealed that Peter's parents were S.H.I.E.L.D. agents. So it's really cool that they are referencing that in this game. And yeah, it's just all these Easter eggs and facts about his past are here. So definitely take a look at it if you're interested, because it brings up a lot of really cool information. Okay, that was looking at the collectibles. Now let's go back into the actual story. Okay, now I think we're stopping the Shocker. So let's see what's going on. Oh!
Hi, Herman.
Seriously?
Oh boy, looks like we have to go after him. Oh, no!
You're never gonna catch me.
That's what you said last time.
I don't want to hurt you. You'll just slow me down.
Wow, that's considerate. What's the money for, Herman?
Why do you care?
Actually, I don't. Just trying to make polite conversation.
I'm done talking.
But this could be so much more rewarding if we connected on an emotional level. Wait, I forgot. You don't have emotions.
I can't seem to be getting
Herman,
any
please talk to me so
closer.
we can make it interesting.
Oh, I can catch him. Okay.
What? The only answer to Shocker now? Mr. Shocker?
Oh no, he's getting far away. Wow, he is surprisingly fast. Oh no, I messed up. Come on, let's get him. All right.
Gotcha. Now let's talk.
Oh.
Noted.
Yeah, I bet that didn't feel good.
Honestly, Herman, why are you robbing again? You know the police are watching your every move. I mean, we all know you're kind of dumb, but I didn't think you were this dumb. You must be desperate, which means you're not just stealing for yourself. You must be working with someone, or for someone. You can tell me who it is now, or make me punch it out of you later. Your choice.
That's enough.
Shocker.
Move.
Whoa. I remember the Shocker was one of the first supervillains you face in the first Spider-Man movie video game. Oh. This is really cool. I never imagined Shocker as somebody you chase, but they did a really good job at this. Got him. Oh no.
You know what, Herman? You have like zero personality, but your suit is awesome. Can we talk design details? Maybe later.
Love Spider-Man's humor.
Good work, Spider-Man. Did you learn anything about his motive?
I tried, but he's not very talkative. Plus, I think he hates me.
You have that effect on a lot of people.
But you love me, right, Yuri?
I tolerate you.
Wow, she's nice.
That might be the nicest thing you've ever said to me. Looks like I got some free time. Maybe now's a good time to look into that mask. Oh, it's MJ. Hey, MJ. You're up late.
Just catching up on the news. Looks like you had quite an adventure with Shocker tonight.
Yeah, he was unusually combative. Anyway, thanks again for dinner. What do I owe you?
How about a favor? You still have that mask from the gallery?
Yeah. I'm actually on my way to the F.E.A.S.T Center now to ask Martin Lee about it.
Martin Lee? Why?
He has a degree in art history. If anyone knows about the origins of that mask, he will.
Just keep me in the loop. Like I said, I think there's a bigger story here, and I plan to be the one to break it.
Sure. So I can call you, like, whenever?
Yeah, whenever, whatever.
Almost morning. Mr. Lee will be here soon. I could use a snack.
It's cool to see how Peter's trying to reconnect with Mary Jane. You know, because that is kind of what happens in the comics, too. That's great. Peter's on his phone. And we're back. Okay. Are we wearing...
Lee's usually in his office now.
Are we wearing a different Sherpa from before? I think we are.
Hey, kid. How's all the science stuff
Well, Peter just
You guys
ignored
holding
him.
up all right?
This moron thinks I'm going to move in with my daughter.
Hey, that'd be great.
She hasn't asked, and she's not gonna. I'm not going anywhere.
You don't know that. Nobody does.
Well, I'm
That's
not going
true.
anywhere. That's a promise.
Such a nice guy, Peter. Alright, looks like I'm headed over there. Looks like there's a staircase to the left of me. Gonna go up the stairs. Into the store, okay.
Peter, what can I do for you?
I'm sorry to bother you, Mr. Lee. I have a friend, Mary Jane. She's a reporter. She's doing a story on art imports, and she found this piece. Well, she wanted an expert opinion on it, and I know you have a degree.
And this might be the first time I actually get to use it. Let's see what you have. Interesting. Where'd she find it?
I'm really not sure. Why, what is it?
Replica of an antique Chinese opera mask. I haven't seen one in years. This symbol here roughly translates to demon.
Demon?
Well, my father read me ghost stories with that mask and symbol in it when I was young. Scared the hell out of me. Peter, listen. That mask, it could be connected to dangerous people. Mary Jane might want to find a different story.
Do you think she's in trouble?
I don't know. Why take the risk?
See, I already know that he's connected to the mask, that he's Mr. Negative, but it is just interesting to
The
see.
symbol inside the mask means demon. It really spooked Mr. Lee. Never seen him like that. He even said you should drop the story.
Fat chance. Do you think Mr. Lee knows more than he's letting on?
No, I think he just had a weird flashback or something. I know his childhood was pretty traumatic.
Yeah, that makes sense. Demons, huh? Catchy name. Okay, gotta get writing. See you soon.
As I was saying,
Well, that went about as well as I could have hoped.
okay, Peter interrupted me, but as I was saying, it's interesting to see how Mr. Lee acts around the situation, seeing how he's trying to avoid everything, not be suspicious. I'm not too familiar with the character of Mr. Negative, so if anybody wants to let me know in the comments section, that or I can always Google the character. Disarm. I know all this. Looks like it's daytime again. Such an awesome suit. I wonder how long it took Insomniac to design this costume.
Got some time to kill before Doc needs me at the lab. Let's do a little Spidey workout in the city.
Explore the city to upgrade your gear and abilities. Oh, I should mention that while upgrading locating backpacks and taking pictures of the, what's it called? Taking pictures of landmarks, I ended up upgrading Spider-Man, and so I got these new skills here. I can disarm an enemy rifle. I got an extended dodge window, perfect hits. Let's see, I can throw an enemy now, so that's really cool. So just a couple of extra upgrades. It looks like I have an upgrade point right now, but I don't think I'm gonna use it just yet. Gonna wait. Another thing that's really cool is that if you get all the backpacks, you actually unlock the homemade homecoming suit. So it's really cool that you get to do that. It makes sense, you know, because it's Peter's homemade suit and his backpacks. Oh, and in an earlier video, I did mention that Peter had a lot of backpacks, and it just didn't make sense to me how he could afford all that. But there actually is an explanation for it. If we go to this science trophy here, just pay attention to the backstory.
My Wilson Fisk Science Prize trophy. And check. I couldn't turn it down without arousing suspicion, but no way was I going to take his money, even though we could have used it. I did accept the lifetime supply of backpacks, though.
So there's your game explanation for all the backpacks, and I really like that. That's a really awesome thing for Insomniac to put in there. Looks like I can upgrade my spider drone. And yeah, you got to level up to do the rest. Okay. Oh, concussive blast. I have to do challenge tokens for this. Okay.
Peter, Mr. Lee spoke to me. He seemed worried. Are you into something dangerous?
Oh, it's just a story Mary Jane's investigating. Don't worry, I'll make sure she's careful.
Please tell me you two are back together.
We're talking again. Baby steps. I hope I didn't upset Mr. Lee.
He's just concerned. I was actually touched by how concerned. I knew he liked you. He admires how dedicated you are to helping others. I think you remind him of himself when he was younger. Both orphans, both so smart.
Well, the admiration's mutual. You've got a good boss, May.
I'll tell him you said so. Love you, Peter.
That's nice. All right. It doesn't seem to be any crime going on. Let's jump down. Woo!
Hello?
Peter, it's Dr. Octavius.
Oh, hey, what's up?
Lance Corporal Texador is here for a fitting.
I totally forgot. I didn't forget. I'll be there soon.
His tardiness is starting to become a pattern. Come on, Parker. You're better than this.
Oh boy.
How did I lose track of time?
All right. Looks like we're headed to Octavius Industries. Let's go. All right. We have arrived. All right. Let's go in. Back in my lab coat.
How does it work? Just like a natural arm. You think of what you want it to do, and...
Yes. Hey, what do you think you're doing?
This site's been declared a safety hazard.
What?
Stop that right now! This is highly sensitive equipment. That's it. I'm calling the mayor's office directly.
Peter Parker, how the hell are you?
Oh.
Speak of the devil.
Mr. Osborn.
Oh, please. How long have we known each other? It's Mr. Mayor. It's Norman. Norman!
Norman, what do you think you're doing?
The grant agreement you signed has strict safety provisions. This isn't your first violation.
Those were excused.
By me. We should have confiscated this equipment long ago.
But I've had a breakthrough.
Thank you for your great service to our country. These folks will escort you to Oscorp Robotics, where you'll receive the latest in prosthetics. No charge.
This isn't about safety infractions, is it?
I'm trying to help you, Otto. You're free to continue your work in a secure environment.
At Oscorp.
You always were the smartest guy in the room.
You haven't changed a bit.
Neither of you. Hey, Peter. Harry will be coming back from Europe early next year. Maybe the two of you can start that business you always talked about. This is opportunity knocking.
Oh, I already don't like him.
Easy. They didn't take everything. Maybe we could start over.
Peter, there's no we. Without the grant from the city, I can no longer pay you. I need some time to think. If I were you, I'd look for a new job.
That's the Parker luck. Yeah, in the Spider-Man comics, that's a very popular term he uses, the Parker luck. He has a lot of bad luck. And this is an example of that.
Wish I could do something to help Doc. Call Harry. Ask him to talk to his dad. No. Norman never listens to Harry. Even tried to kill funding for his research stations. Hey, One of those stations is nearby. Should see how they're doing while Harry's in Europe.
A research station.
Must be some way to help Doc. I'll think of something.
I remember in the TV show Ultimate Spider-Man, Norman Osborn and Dr. Octopus had a rivalry with one another. Looks like they're putting that kind of relationship into this game too.
Harry left me a message about these before he left for Europe.
Pete, hey, I need a favor. My mom's pet project was research stations that could benefit the public. Now, I launched them, but now that I'm away, Oscorp's gonna shut them down unless they prove their value. I was hoping you could watch them. I left details in each one. Thanks, man. As long as they're here, it's like a part of my mom is too.
Well, it's not gonna pay the bills, but it sounds like it means a lot to him. I'll do what I can to help.
Okay. So, what can I do with these research stations? This is another of our air quality stations monitoring contaminants in the surrounding atmosphere. Super important for the city and its citizens, but certain corporate overlords are less than thrilled about the prospect of their pollution output being publicly reported. So what am I doing?
I've got a couple stations measuring air pollution. The idea is to catch the, contaminants before they reach toxic levels. Between you and me, I think Oscorp wants this to fail because it might show they're polluting.
The amount of polycyclic hydrocarbons in the air is way too high. And rising. If it keeps getting worse, people could die.
Oh, wow.
Particles are concentrating in trouble spots. Like mini clouds of smog. I'll swing through them and get samples, then trace them to the... Nasty as they are, I gotta swing right through those clouds. For these clouds to be visible to the naked eye, the level of toxins must be up there.
This kind of reminds me of a Spider-Man game I played on PlayStation where some kind of toxin was put into the air and the pollution was yellow. Spider-Man was accused of being the one who caused the pollution.
I'm getting some good stuff. Well, good samples of bad stuff anyway. Got it.
Alright, looks like we almost got all of them.
Huh. The toxin's coming from two types of cars, and a faulty smokestack. I better get photos.
Subway's that way.
Great light on that one. Perfect.
Okay. And now it looks like we just want to go to the top of this smokestack.
Best smokestack picture I ever took. The Department of Environmental Protection will take it from here. Maybe I should make a green spider costume for Earth Day.
I like that idea.
Well, Harry's station just stopped a public health crisis. Oscorp's gonna have a hard time arguing it's not useful.
Nice. And everything's clear and beautiful again.
Shocker has escaped, and now he's robbing a bank on East 31st.
What happened? I thought he was behind bars.
He was, but one of the guards just walked up to his cell and released him, then gave him his suit back.
Oh
I knew
no.
Shocker was working for someone. What did you get out of the guard?
Wish I could ask him, but he's dead.
Oh,
Whoever made him
whoa.
release Shocker didn't want any loose ends.
Damn.
Looking at the security footage, the guard was in some kind of trance. And it might have been the lighting, but it looked like his eyes were glowing.
Well, that's creepy. Okay, I'll see what I can get out of Shocker when I get to the bank.
Okay, I'm going to end the video here, guys. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, and please join me for part 8. I hope you're having a great day or night. Peace.